Nice to meet you, Sharon. First of all, can you share with us how you got started in swimming and what inspired you to pursue the sport seriously?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't call it a career. I didn't make a penny. But anyway, I got started when I was 7 years old. My parents taught me to swim, swam on summer teams for fun with my two older brothers. And then when we moved, my father thought it would be great if we got into year-round swimming, mostly because my brothers were very good. I wasn't, I was just okay. And my brothers made the team, and they said they weren't sure about me, but they'd give me a chance to try it. So after trying to quit because I was so bad, I couldn't keep up with the other kids because they were in shape and I was not. But eventually, my dad said, first of all, my dad said, you can't quit for 6 months. So after 6 months, of course, I was doing great and often headed to the races. So then it was, after I got so good, I tried to make state. Then when I made state, I tried to make regionals, and from regionals to nationals, and then so on and so on.
What was your training regime like when preparing for major competitions such as the 1968 Olympics?
I made nationals for the first time when I was 13. And then our club hired this wonderful world-class coach. So he changed my stroke that summer. And my first nationals, I got 33rd or something out of 50. And when he changed my stroke, I qualified for finals that year. And he was a very hard-working coach. So it was like 2-hour practice in the morning in the summer, and then a half-hour practice in the afternoon, then a half-hour rest, and another 2 hours in the evening or after that. And then the wintertime, it was hour before school at 6 in the morning, and then 2 hours after school, then study for 3 hours, go to sleep, and start it all over. It was exactly what I wanted. I had set goals on my own. I set my own goals. And when I was 12, and in that locker room with that year-round swimmers, with the other older girls talking about Olympics and nationals, I'm going, oh my gosh, that's got to be the neatest thing to be in. So I secretly said I wanted to get a gold medal in the Olympics. And I didn't tell anybody.
How did you manage the pressure and expectations leading up to the Olympics?
The expectations was a piece of cake. Nobody expected anything. I was chasing the world record holder for 4 years and never beat her. And the pressure was awful at the Olympic trials. It was terrible because we had an awesome team then. And just to make the team was a big, big deal. I mean, you have to be one of the top in the world to make the U.S. team. So that was very nerve-wracking.
What are your most memorable moments from the 1968 Olympics?
Well, first of all, I got a bronze medal in the 100 and I was thrilled to death. But turning around after the 200-meter race and seeing immediately that I had won, I had to kind of like say, is this my dream or is this for real? And then I started bawling. And then to get to go up in the stands where my parents were and my best friend was there, and we just cried for about a half an hour. So much work for everybody.
How did it feel to win a gold and a bronze medal at just 16 years old?
It was pretty exciting because I was younger for most of the people there. The average age was 19 to 21. And the defending champion I had to race against was 21 and looked like she had 50 pounds on me. So she was really big and strong, very intimidating. But it was the thrill of my life. I was so proud to represent our country. I wanted everybody to know that I lived in one of the best countries in the world. That was part of my reason for winning.
This experience with the Olympics and all that matters, is it a highlight for her life?
Well, I thought so at the time, but I grew up then after that. And I realized that the fame and excitement doesn't last. And then I thought, oh, well, getting married will be wonderful. And while it has great advantages, it's not perfection. And then I thought, well, having kids would be wonderful. And that was okay. No, it was, I loved raising my kids. I didn't mean to say it that way. But it wasn't until I found Jesus Christ that I found the real highlight of my life. I just thought I didn't know where I was from and where I was going. And he gave me a purpose for my whole life besides salvation.
This is the great lesson of your life, the great hope, and the great highlight. Finally, salvation, Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. The highlight of my life is my salvation. My whole life did a 180 turnaround.
How did your Christian faith begin and evolve over the years?
Like I said, I was wondering, there's got to be more to life than running around doing this and that like a chicken with your head cut off. And I wanted to know where I came from and where I was going. What was the purpose in life? And so I started reading my mom's old Bible, but it was King James and I couldn't understand it. So I told a friend and she said, well, we're starting a Bible study. So I got invited to that Bible study, eventually got saved through them, and they answered a million of my questions because I wanted to know what I was getting into. And I knew that if I received Christ, that was a big responsibility on my part.
What role did faith play in your life during your swimming career?
I wasn't a Christian then, so I did pray to God, but I didn't know him. So it wasn't until after I became a Christian and studied at a wonderful church for 22 years that I realized all the ways God worked during that whole situation. He made so many things happen that helped me to get to the gold medal. And I just didn't see it for years.
Can you share a moment when your faith particularly supported or inspired you during a challenging time, whether in your sports career or personal life?
Life is full of all kinds of challenges. God sees you through everything. He doesn't take away the Red Sea, but he parts it and sees you through it. I never question God in anything hard that happens because I trust him. And who am I to question God in the first place? He has his purpose for everything that he allows, and I guess how he would use that afterwards for good.
Who is God for you for now?
The God who created the universe, created our earth, and sustains us here and offers us a path of salvation back to him from the sin that started from the very beginning, and that we get to we keep going until we receive him.
What advice would you give to young athletes trying to balance a demanding sports career with their belief and spiritual life?
Just keep balance. I mean, God, you can in your heart all the time, and you can talk to him anytime you want. And when you're swimming all those laps, you got lots of time to pray. You think about all kinds of things when you're training. So I think you should talk to God as much as possible.
How do you think faith can help athletes manage the pressure and challenges of high-level sports?
Well, the same way. Faith helps manage the pressures of their sports, athletics. It's the same way it helps you in life and every aspect of life, because you know God's in control and you just do your best and leave the rest to God. That's all you can do. So it doesn't matter whether it's athletics or any struggles you're going through in life. And I don't know, I've learned that forgiveness is one of the most important things, because there's always going to be somebody doing something to hurt you. And you just got to forgive, because that's what Christ did for us.
Big challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looking back, what is the main message you would like to convey to those who follow your journey and draw inspiration from your story?
The inspiration from my story is that don't put off salvation if you're not saved, and get into God's word and learn it forwards and backwards and upside down. I'm going through the Bible right now for the fourth time, page by page. And I don't think there's anything more important than knowing God's word, because you can't exactly follow him if you don't know him.
So inspiring. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharon.
You're welcome.